we have listening to the RMPodcast, the official podcast of Red Moon Productions. Here are your hosts, Brandon Davidson, Keith Cheatham, and Sean Sebastian. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to yet again another fine episode of the Red Moon Podcast here in Louisville, Kentucky, coming to you live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We love bringing you a fantastic show every week, and boy, do we have a good one this week. Yes, we're going to tell you all about it here in just a sec. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host, Sean Sebastian, and me. The voice of me is back.
I did tell you that.
Nobody knows that reference.
Did I send you that text, though, a couple weeks ago? I was like, man, we need to bring back Wild TV.
Yes, you did. Actually, I was going to say.
I'm pretty sure that's what that podcast would be.
It would be an adult, a very adult version of Wild TV.
Yeah.
But no doubt, I would say, man, I don't think anybody knows of our days of Wild TV back.
I have heard of that.
You have?
You still have that footage?
I have seen that.
You need to put it on.
You have.
Is that on YouTube with all the rest of our stuff?
It's not. That's some old footage that I don't think we'll ever see the light of
Solid
day.
Gears. Hey, Solid Gears on there.
But at least it's a complete. Well, I can't say that because
ITCO's not complete.
And it's on there.
It's better thought out, but
that's
it's
a good
not
plug.
complete.
Go check out all of our past stuff from literally a decade ago. We haven't done anything.
We got things
since.
from when we were in middle school. I mean, come on.
I mean, we're coming up on several years since Margaret. It's been a while. We've got to get the train rolling. I keep saying we're working on it, just like the website. Patience is a virtue, guys.
I mean, we do have another audio drama written.
It's in the.
It's complete. We just actually.
It's in the chamber.
Produce it.
It's ready. It will
you just
be
need
soon.
to pull the trigger. Yeah, come on.
Exactly. But it is. I want to wish you fine folks a very happy Cinema Week.
Yes.
It is Cinema Week out there. We got AMC giving away free
popcorn
all week.
All week.
And then everything else is 50% more.
Yeah.
So you get that free popcorn, and then you got to pay 50% more for a Coke.
I was looking at some of the stuff they're doing for Cinema Week, and I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Like AMC's
cool.
Now that things are kind of more open, they actually I was looking at some of their stuff, and they have reworked some of their prices again to where it's not as obscene. So I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. I wish they'd quit going back and forth.
Is it still higher than it was or pre-COVID?
Yeah, but it's not as high as it was.
Then I'm out.
I was gonna say,
if you're gonna raise your prices just because everybody got sick, that's not my
well,
problem.
again, and to make up for the shortfall of the year that you said wasn't as bad as we thought.
Well, the year that you weren't
after
going
all
bankrupt,
the rumors, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like we know you secured extra funds since then, but it's Cinema Week.
Well, they're supposed to put some of that money back into the theaters, so
we'll see about that.
Into their parking lot, into their cleaning people.
If they could just
into their seats,
trim the bushes.
What movie?
Trim the verge.
The last movie I saw there, like one of the seats right in front of me was broken and had this big bag over it, and I'm like, okay. I was like,
do not sit there. We're just gonna put a Kroger bag on it.
I think the last one I went to, it didn't even go back.
Well, here's what's
just
funny.
stayed in one spot.
Is when I got online to buy the ticket. You know, you have to reserve the seats ahead when you have the subs membership.
Right.
They had a seat marked out in that row, and I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, did someone sit? Because it didn't look like someone was sitting there.
Someone died there.
So I was just like, you couldn't pick that seat.
They fucked that one out.
It's like when you're on the highway in freaking Dixie Highway in Louisville.
Yeah.
It's like you see all the crosses on the side.
But here's what's weird about it is they had this seat blocked out so you couldn't purchase it. And then when I get in the theater and see it was broken, I was like, oh, that's why you couldn't purchase it. But then I realized, wait a minute. That seat is not the same seat they had blocked out online. So you could actually pick that seat and buy a ticket for it. So they had the wrong seat marked out online.
Like, what if you ordered that seat and then you walk in there and there's a bag over it like that?
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to sit?
They had one marked out, but it was the wrong one. I was like, wait a minute. So, like, basically,
we forgot which side the screen was on.
We forgot which seat was broken, so we're sorry you bought the broken.
I'm literally now all I'm picturing is like you walking into a movie theater and like seeing a little cross sitting in one of the chairs.
That's what I know.
And flowers.
Like on the side of the road.
I mean, could you imagine, though? You know,
it's like someone died here.
That's right. And you know what? I couldn't think of a better way to go. You put a cross in the dead center behind the bar.
I don't want to die in an AMC.
That's
In
where
the
I want
best
my.
seats.
That's where I want my grave to
Not
be.
in an AMC.
It's like you forever.
Well, true.
Maybe a better theater.
yeah.
Yeah, if we in a Red Moon theater.
There you
When
go.
we own our own chain.
There
one
you
day.
go.
There you go.
Until then, I guess maybe Blankenbaker. That's probably the best in Louisville.
Is that Escape?
Yeah, Escape.
Yeah.
Escape. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good one. I want one of the ones that recline.
They have heated
Yeah.
seats.
They
there.
Blankenbaker was the first ones to have to do the reclining seats, and
Yeah.
then Cinemark followed suit.
Yeah,
and AMC still doesn't have
Well,
them.
Baxter-
so-
My dad is
Baxter
watching
has
from
Bax-
his hospital bed.
Do you know how?
Yes,
Do you know how
crazy.
sad that is that Baxter has reclining seats, but AMC still doesn't? It's like every theater chain in Louisville has reclining seats now, except for AMC.
Maybe that's where the new renovations are going.
Right.
But Sean, you just mentioned your dad is watching.
Yeah.
Update on your dad. He
He's-
just had a
he's
surgery
our
today.
one viewer, yeah.
Hey, but
He literally got out of surgery 2 hours ago.
and he
Hey,
is watching
that-
the Red Moon
he's watching.
podcast.
That is dedication.
That is.
He just wants to see what's going to happen later. I guarantee you.
I think
that's
we
all
should
he wants
tease
to
what
see.
we're about to do.
Yeah, we should talk about that before we get into the review.
So we've got our In the Heights review.
Mhm.
It's coming up here. That was the movie we chose to review this past week.
Absolutely.
But Sean, well, we like to torture ourselves on the show. Well,
Yeah.
these two. I don't really partake.
Well, you're partaking
I-
this. You're
I-
partaking
is.
this time.
Brandon,
Brandon won't partake in the heat, but he's partaking this time.
I'm partaking in the pain. Okay, not the heat. That's too much.
We're not
pain.
doing anything spicy this time. We kind of, I mean, we did the Death Nut Challenge, and there's not really anywhere to go from there.
Nah.
I mean, I have done the Pocky One Chip Challenge on
Yeah.
my own. It's not as bad as the Death Nut. I mean, we could still do it on the show. I'm
Yeah.
sure people would love to see it, but it's not as hot as the Death Nut.
Yeah. We're just doing something a little bit different. Something. I mean, would you call this personal hygiene? Is that
I
what
mean,
you would call
kind
it?
of.
Or,
I mean, it is.
I-
Trimming your nose hairs is part
I
of
think it
hygiene.
is.
Right.
It's taking care of yourself.
We're not
So-
trimming our nose hairs, though.
no.
No,
we're
we
men.
we are waxing.
We're not plucking
Our nose
one.
hairs.
We're just
plucking
we're
them
just
all.
yanking them all
at
out in
once.
one fell swoop.
Well, I
Yeah.
am curious as to waxing my nose.
Sounds more manly when you say one fell
Fail
swoop.
swoop.
One
Yeah.
fell swoop.
Yeah.
But I realize that when I pluck even one, I sneeze.
I cry.
and I'm
I
you
tear
cry.
up over
I hear
one.
this actually isn't as bad as plucking one single one because
Yeah.
the
That's
warm
what I'm
wax,
thinking.
The warm
yeah.
wax makes it a little bit
That's
better.
exactly what I'm expecting.
Plus, you get it
and
all
I'm
at
hoping.
once, so
Yeah. But
So-
see, you guys have to be careful though, because you've got lip hair.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
Yes.
use
I
one
don't
of the.
have
I'm going to
that.
use one
so
of
you
the.
gotta use the stickers.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
do
use
we-
one anyway, just because they look cool.
I'm going
but-
to use it.
Well, we have to wear those the rest of the show then. We got to put those on.
Just don't leave it in there too long, and then you just like pull out all of like the mucus membrane in your nose.
Or-
yeah.
No, we don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Or I'll start
Yeah.
We're talking
bleeding.
about the mustache stickers. We're gonna leave those on.
Oh
the
yeah,
rest
yeah,
of the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
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 Not the wax in the whole time. Otherwise, it will. I will
Yeah, you
leave it in
just
there.
have to
It's
go to the
gonna
ER.
dry.
It's
Right.
like they get a blow dryer and just blow your nose until it softens
Dennis,
up.
I'll be right
Yeah.
there beside you tonight, buddy.
Just wonder if like one of us is gonna pull it out and then it's just gonna bleed.
Oh, God, that's what I am.
Like, what do we do? Then?
Worst case scenario. This is
You
gonna be
shove some
terrible.
toilet paper up there and keep on going.
Stick a tampon in there.
I was gonna say I'm gonna need more than that freaking
Brandon,
mustache.
you got some of those, don't you?
Yeah. I keep
Leftovers?
some. Well, it's from when I detransitioned.
Oh.
Since I'm no longer a woman,
Oh yeah,
I'll let you figure out what I was first.
a tree.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we're gonna prepare the wax.
Brandy.
I've
Prepare the
never
wax.
been called Brandy. I have been called Bradley by my own
okay.
family. It's sad. But anyways, let's move into our review of the movie that, well, I don't know. It's getting some praise.
I mean, it's getting a lot from
It's gotten a lot of praise, actually.
critics
I can't
and
say that.
audience
Of course.
members. So
It has. But here's what Red Moon thinks about it, and we're going to go get our nose wax ready. Let's do it.
Hollywood and audiences have maintained their fascination with musicals for as long as sound has existed on film. Musicals can offer a completely different style of narrative storytelling that can be relatable to varying ages and cultures due to the music in the film. Lin-Manuel Miranda is no stranger to the power of storytelling through music. Having created the hugely popular stage musical Hamilton, written the music for Disney's Moana, and now producing the film adaptation of In the Heights, based on another stage musical created by him and Chiara Alegria Huedes, Lin-Manuel Miranda has helped craft both historical and cultural stories infused with music. Is the film adaptation of In the Heights another high point for Lin-Manuel Miranda, however? Or has reputation and the film's message earned it more praise than it deserves? Directed by John Chu, director of Crazy Rich Asians and the second and third Step Up films, In the Heights is the story of Usnavi de la Vega, played by Anthony Ramos, a young Latino American from the Dominican Republic, living in Washington Heights, a predominantly Latin community in Upper Manhattan. Usnavi's parents had immigrated to America before he was born in hopes of making a better life. In the Heights, Usnavi and much of the neighborhood are one large family. But the community faces many hardships, including poverty and little opportunity to get ahead in life. Because of this, Usnavi dreams of returning to the Dominican Republic to reopen his father's old business. But things don't go as planned, as Usnavi is conflicted on his wishes to return to the Dominican Republic versus his feelings for Vanessa, played by Melissa Barrera, who wishes to stay in America. In the Heights is ultimately a mixed bag. The story from Miranda and Juarez is one that is personal to them, being based on their own childhoods, yet struggles with mixed messages on whether America is truly a land of opportunity or systemically racist, settling somewhere in the middle with, America sucks, but it sucks less than everywhere else. Many of the problems presented in the film, such as poverty, racism, and illegal immigration, are danced away by the film's end, with the themes of family and sacrificing for future generations bringing up nice sentiments, but again are forgotten by the closing number. The film's direction is also a mixed bag. John Chu hit it out of the park with Crazy Rich Asians, but for In the Heights, he brings his music video and Step Up A game, and it's painfully obvious. Nearly every musical number feels like a music video instead of a stage musical or cinematic film. The choreography is generic, and terrible CGI distracts the viewer from the narrative being told through song. The point of musicals are to convey the narrative through the song. In the Heights throws in too many numbers just for the sake of it, or else the song and dance routines meander through unnecessary spectacle. Either way, there's only a few songs that are remotely memorable, and even less that feel like they further the plot in an impactful way. Ultimately, In the Heights falls a little flat. There is definitely talent hidden in the film, and Miranda's lyrics are well written, despite the story itself feeling generic. In fact, the film received heavy praise for its depiction of the Latin culture living in the Heights and their daily struggle. But that's all the film has. Certainly those topics are worth creating a film about, but should a film receive praise just because of its subject matter, or should the film deliver on story, character, and emotion as well as its topics? I give In the Heights 2.5 out of 4 stars.
This film gave me diabetes.
That's just what I think of. Like, I just see my face with this mustache, and I'm like, Wilford Brimley.
That's you have to think about that.
Diabetes.
I have diabetes, and I need to get more strips when I go to CVS.
I want to drink my coffee, and I'm like, I don't think I can.
I can't drink it.
I'll have to wait until
Sean he's not here yet. He's
Sean is he's getting the wax ready, and we're going to pluck out our.
You know what?
hairs.
I need to get my pipe and put my pipe in.
I have my pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that.
I smoked
we need
that.
our pipe.
Yeah. Some of that
Those will look
lovely tobacco that the Burrises
Yes,
gifted us
Mr.
for
Jacob
watching the
Burris.
house. Yeah.
Sean
Good
is
stuff.
waiting. I'm gonna go to the wide shot, Sean. You
Sean.
can at least wave and say he's getting it ready. He's melting the wax now. So while he's still melting the wax, he can kind of talk about the film a little bit, Keith.
Oh, look. I can make my mustache wiggle.
And see, isn't it better than your real mustache? Isn't it so much better?
I wish my real mustache would wiggle like that.
I know. I wish I had one like this.
I'm
I kind of
gonna
dig it.
grow.
I kind of think I could.
I'm
pull
gonna
this out.
grow
Oh,
a
he's got it.
mustache.
He's got it ready.
I think it's hot.
It's hot.
We're
Okay.
going to mix it up. We're
Oh,
going to put some
gosh.
balls of hot wax on
He's-
there.
He's getting.
He's getting.
goodness.
Trying to make sure it ain't like gonna burn.
He's
Okay,
getting
okay.
diabetes.
He's getting it all. Huh? I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll stick it in my
I
nose.
guess Sean's going, or not Sean.
Brandon's getting the.
Oh, I gotta grab a pick or whatever.
You have two.
Oh, I need two.
Mix
Oh,
them up
crap.
and put a ball on there. Yeah, mix up the wax.
Oh, it is melted and it's all crap. Oh gosh.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Oh,
you got, that's
no.
plenty.
It's like a candy cane.
Well, maybe you need to let it
Candy.
cool just a little bit more.
Oh gosh. Here you go.
There you go.
Here you go. Here you go. Oh, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks
Well-
like. Okay, I gotta put it in my. I gotta put it up in my nose.
Get them in there.
Okay. Oh gosh.
I kind of don't want to do them both at the same time, though.
Oh. Ooh.
I kind of want to do it one at
ooh.
a time. Okay.
Oh gosh, I can't see what I'm doing.
Well, you just shove it up in there. You don't need to see.
It's really warm. It's really warm. I don't know. What, oh, it's got. Ew. I got wax on my finger. Oh,
This is great.
It just keeps coming.
It's like you're pulling a big snot.
It does. It
right
feels
on
like
out
that's what
your
it looks
nose.
like. Sean's doing it. Oh, yours is much better.
Oh God.
Oh man. How
He's
much
get-
did you put on there, Sean? That good?
Enough to fill it
That
up.
good?
Yeah,
Now
he's-
it's supposed to come to the end of the circle.
I guess. Yeah, we'll wait to talk about In the Heights here in a sec.
God.
Well, it's on the end of the circle. Oh man, that's
It-
that's plenty. That's plenty.
Oh.
Of
And then Keith, when you get yours, or Sean, can you hold? Well, once he's
Oh.
done, can you hold it up back up to the camera?
Yeah.
To show
Hold on,
There
I'm
you
trying
go.
to.
the wonderful
And then you
peeps
kinda-
at home.
You kind of rub it around in
There
there,
we
so it
there.
gets everything.
Yeah.
man.
This is what it looks like. And Sean was just interested. I guess it kind of looks like pudding.
I think I got too much.
Yeah.
Definitely too much.
You better get
got
it
a
in
lot-
there.
It's okay.
Sean's got a lot in there too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She got
Definitely.
a lot. He got a. I think it's actually
See
what's
that?
holding my mustache.
I feel
on.
like I would have ripped my nose skin since
Okay,
I
you
have so
gotta,
much.
you gotta
I
do-
know what
it
it-
ain't gonna rip your skin.
It, he says that with no medical experience
wait till-
whatsoever.
You Hey, I work for
You
A-
work for
a
Baptist
place.
a
Health,
health company,
A health company.
a medical company.
a medical company.
My thing is, I want to breathe it through my nose, and I don't want to like snort up the wax. So I'm like,
Oh
don't
yeah,
do
I didn't even
that.
think about that.
I'm not used. I'm not a mouth breather. So I'm
So-
like sitting here like.
So now, if it doesn't, I've watched videos about this.
How long have you been here?
If it doesn't pull about 2 minutes,
Okay.
if it
Oh,
doesn't,
that's how long we gotta
if
keep
it
it
doesn't
in. Okay.
pull
Okay.
everything out, or
You're
if it-
supposed.
you can do it again, but we don't have to do it again.
I think the
I'm
one
poking
experience.
myself with the.
Kid,
Alright,
you look like a walrus
Wait a
over
minute, I
there.
gotta get my headphones. on.
It
There
looks
we
like
go.
a couple of bones.
I look like Tusk.
Tusk 2. Dreams come true. So we're holding this for about 2 minutes right
Did
now.
y'all start talking
It's
about the
been a
movie
minute.
yet?
No,
I
we
just
haven't.
hit the mic too, and that
We have-
kind of pulled.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
It's in there.
Yeah,
Um,
it's snug.
We haven't talked about the movie yet.
I guess we can before we pull these out.
Well, we got about 30 seconds. So,
Okay.
well, you probably are ready.
I probably am, but I don't want to
Go
wait.
ahead.
I'm scared.
Go ahead.
I'm scared to do it.
Yeah, I
Do
think
it.
we need to get everybody's
Do it.
reaction. You
It's
can't-
your
so
turn.
one at a time.
You
So
go
I-
first.
I
Yeah.
would go. I would think you would go first.
Yeah.
Or you think I'm ready?
I
think
mean,
you're-
you did it
Like
first.
you think I've
You
had
got
enough
one
time?
of them's not
It's-
even up in there.
It's been 2 minutes.
That one?
Just,
Well,
yeah.
it's where it's at.
just,
That's
just
where
yank
it's
it.
at.
I don't-
Just yank it.
Oh,
Go.
that one. It's this
It's
one.
that. Hold your nose and pull.
I'm supposed to hold it.
I mean, like get a fist on it.
Get a fist?
Yeah.
Like
A
hold it. And
fist?
yank.
It ain't gonna pull with fingertips. It's
Just-
you
just-
gotta,
Are you serious?
Hold
gotta
it.
man
and
up.
yank.
You gotta man up.
Oh my gosh, this
Gosh.
is gonna hurt. All right, it's been enough. All right.
It's been long enough.
So I'm supposed to hold like the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Just
all
hold
right,
it
here
and
we
yank.
go. Here we go. And I
Yank.
pull it like
Yeah.
Yeah, yank.
Oh.
that
You
wasn't
get
bad at
anything?
all.
Did you get anything? No.
No,
He didn't have enough wax in there.
I think that was the short one.
Yeah, look
that
at
was
it.
their
It's all
short
on the
one.
end. He ain't got nothing on
I
there.
don't know if that'll
Alright,
focus on
alright.
it.
All right.
It was hardened. It was in there,
All right, we'll try.
but
again.
not as good as the other
Well,
one.
yank the
Okay.
other
What that other one does.
This other one is probably all right. Here we go. Plus, I didn't have a whole lot of nose hairs.
No, he got
Right.
well. He got scared too.
I
He didn't
like
put as
to-
much wax
I
on
get
as we did.
nervous
You
throughout
trim
the
a little
day,
bit.
and I pluck my own
Oh,
with my
okay.
fingers.
I
I can
got
grab
you.
them when they're
Yeah.
long enough. you
I
know.
do that too.
You get bored.
It's like it's long enough. I just grab it and pull.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
that's when you feel like you're becoming an old man.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
All
you
right,
just
here's the other
yanking
one.
hairs
Here's
out
the
of
other
your
one. Okay,
nose.
ready? All right.
Oh, you still
There
got
we
some.
go.
You still got some hanging
Oh,
there.
Oh, you
that
got
one-
wax in your nose.
Yeah, you still
Oh.
got some wax hanging on the end of your
Ow.
nose.
Dude, and that one got one. That one
Oh,
got some
got
good
one.
ones. Oh no, that got a few. I don't know if it'll focus on
Oh,
that
man.
close.
All
I
right,
gotta get
all
it
right.
right up in there. It won't.
Sean's turd.
All right.
There it is. Oh, it's focused
Is
right
it-
on
you
that
got
hair.
that hair on there?
I got the hair right on there. Okay. All right, Sean, I guess, are you going up next?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
hold on.
will.
Hold on. Are you going to hold your nose?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
waiting.
it's still on the tip of my nose.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
That's
right,
what I
all
kept
right.
trying to tell you.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, let me get close here.
There you go. Do it.
Are you ready?
I'm on you.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Look at that.
Yeah. He's got
Oh
some
my
good ones.
God.
Oh, it's coming. I can see it coming off.
Oh, it won't even focus.
Stick it right in front of your face.
Holy crap.
Right there.
Oh,
that-
my God. Look at the hairs on that thing.
Well, I'm gonna go
Wow.
because I don't want it to get
well, wait,
too hard.
wait,
Here I
wait.
go.
No. She's
Okay.
got his.
Well, I don't want it to get too hard in
All right,
there.
all
All right.
Here we go.
It's already been
One,
well over the 2
2,
minutes.
3. Oh.
Oh, he hit the mic.
Man, man.
God.
I'm gonna do it.
All
I'm
right.
gonna do it.
All right.
It's Keith's turn.
Oh,
My
man.
hands are sweaty. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull them.
See,
Oh,
you're
do it.
scared. You get scared.
Well, I've been waiting on you all. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh!
I can't. My hand won't grip it. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
God.
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
Oh,
He
man.
got some-
Oh!
oh, he got a good one.
It's not that painful. I
Oh,
just
it's-
couldn't grip it. My hands are
Oh.
sweaty. Here we
Looks
go.
like a cactus.
Oh,
It's really
yeah.
not that bad.
It's not
I mean,
bad,
I
no.
just got, I
It
can't-
really is.
My hands are just. Oh. It's like my hands are slipping.
It's like
I feel like
when you don't get it, it's like, oh God.
my hands are just so slick. I have sweaty hands normally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
show us yours. Which one
These
was
are
better?
Oh,
look,
he
look
got
at
good
them.
ones.
I got some good ones. Look
He
at
got
that.
Good.
Yeah, man, you got it.
Hey, I have not done anything with my nose hairs for a while
I
because
didn't
Sean
either. I was
said
waiting
that you
for
know.
Here's the other thing that I'm noticing.
Can you
is
see it?
saved
Like
them.
it's kind of
Oh.
out of focus.
Hey, will
but,
that one focus close?
you know,
No,
Oh.
you'd have to manually focus that
Dang,
one.
look at that.
Actually,
That one's
I have to admit, it actually does feel really good.
well. I was
Like
gonna say,
it's. I feel like I could breathe more.
I
And
have
I
to
mean,
s-
look at how much hair was in there.
Not only that,
Look
but
at
it.
that.
Oh, you got way more than me.
Look at, yeah. Well, are they about even?
Dang.
And it really isn't that
It's
painful.
not that painful, and not only that, but it actually doesn't smell too bad either.
No.
No, it leaves a nice scent.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was gonna smell a lot.
Like
worse.
it has a nice scent to it.
You might have a little bit left over.
Brandon's gonna be digging wax
Well,
out of
here's
his
the
nose
problem. is
because he
I've got this one little wax.
You got a
on
glob there. Just grab it and pull.
I'm gonna try to just peel it.
Yeah, there you go. Just pull, yank. You're good.
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
My
hurt.
mustache
Oh,
fell
that
off
one-
with mine,
that
but hey,
that one hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, that was holding my mustache on. Ah,
Damn.
that hurt.
I don't know. It just if I have any wax left in there, I just snorted it up into my sinuses. So
I don't know if I got everything or not, but I'm okay.
I mean,
Are
I feel.
you smelling
hold on,
better?
I apologize. I'm gonna dig in my nose on camera, but I'm just kind of feeling around. Yeah.
You got it all?
I don't know. There's no wax. So there might be some
Yeah,
hairs.
you know, I gotta admit, it did come out. It's like using a neti pot for the first time. You're
Oh.
nervous.
Oh yeah.
But you know, and
Neti
but-
pots
One that was
are-
hung up right there.
Yeah.
That one made me
yes,
tear up.
on the
That
very
one got
the
me.
very inside tip
yeah.
of your nose, it hurt.
Man, neti pots. Yeah, I love neti pots. But yeah, first time you use it, you're like, I'm gonna drown myself.
Yeah, but I will say, I'm also hoping that this is kind of better than the trimmers, so that I'm actually
Trimmers.
the trimmer, the little nose trimmer.
Move your trimmer.
bud. You say trimmers, and I'm thinking movie.
Well, of course, it's a great film too from
So we're
1990.
we're not doing it again, right?
No,
We're
I'm good.
Okay.
I think I got.
I don't
enough.
need to now. I don't know about Brandon. He didn't really have much on his. I think
No.
he
Yeah.
needs to go again.
I truthfully think
I got. There's quite a bit on there.
my hope. Oh, you're doing it again?
No. I'm saying there's just quite a bit of hair on there, so I'm pretty sure I got most of it.
I like right here feels kind of funny, but I think that's where this was like
Yeah.
sitting up against
Yeah,
it.
I think
Yeah.
we're good for tonight.
I think we're okay. I think we got enough.
I
Well, that
got
was
enough
fun.
left over. I might do it again at home.
That
You
was
know,
fun.
well,
But yeah.
I might try.
I don't think I need to
would,
do it
if I
anymore.
would,
I'm
if
pretty
it
sure
were
I got
mine,
everything in
Sean,
there.
if it were mine, like it is yours, I would try other areas.
Yeah.
Just just
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't rule that out.
you know.
I am really fascinated at how much hair I have. Like I did not
Hold that
realize.
up.
I did not realize
Hold
that.
that up.
I mean, I have. You just it
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
say in focus. I don't know if you
Oh,
can really
no.
see it.
I say it will
it looks like a nasty rotten.
definitely like help
Yeah.
you breathe.
It looks
better.
like an old Q-tip.
Like I just
You
I
pulled
never
it out of your
realized there were
ears.
that many hairs in my nose. So it does feel nice though.
I kind of want to do my ears.
Oh man.
I feel like
I bet you could.
that nose. I
You
think
know
it's-
what you should do? Like, have you seen those? Like those. Actually, I hear they're not that good for you, but back when they were very popular, everybody's saying it was the best for you. Those little wax candle things that suck the
Oh yeah.
Yes.
wax out of your
Yep.
ears. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Man,
Yep.
we're all about male
Hygiene.
hygiene.
I mean, we
and
just look. We could have saved it for a
pedicures,
Vices segment,
manicures.
but it was best
I
to
could
get
drink
the
my
info
coffee
out.
now.
manscaping. Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I'll
can
say-
smell that coffee better.
Yeah.
it doesn't smell great. That
I
good
wanna
old
see if I can get a
Folgers.
drink with this mustache on. I don't think I can.
I
I
can't.
couldn't. That's why I finally relented,
Yeah.
and it fell off when I pulled. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it off
So,
because
did
I
we
want to be able
talk
to drink
about
my
the
coffee.
movie?
We didn't.
No.
We didn't.
Okay.
We totally rambled, and it's okay.
We pulled nose hairs out, and that was more fun than the movie. I did. I got more entertained. Here's the thing.
That's why we gave it 2.5 out of 4
it was
stars.
a very highly praised film.
Yeah.
And I do understand why critics like it, and I understand why audiences like it, and I think they're two completely separate reasons.
Are you gonna?
In a
keep
sense,
those?
no. I kind of
don't you
want
I think
to.
he is.
I kind of like it's my trophy.
You're holding on to them like you were gonna keep.
I'm
them.
gonna,
I think that's what
I'm
he's
gonna take
planning
them
on
home
doing.
and put them on display somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think he wants
just-
to keep them.
I don't know. Like I'm admiring how much hair there is.
I'll be happy if in 3 or 4 weeks I don't have to actually trim my nose hairs because this kept the nose hair from growing.
Well, you didn't get them.
Well, it's gonna grow back. It doesn't
I
keep
know,
it.
but if it keeps it
yeah,
longer,
when you pull them, it takes about a month for them. To
Yeah,
grow
yeah.
instead
and
of-
that's always helpful.
yeah.
Okay. But back to the movie.
I kind of might clear my nose hairs out like that every month or so.
do not pass go. Do not collect.
Oh, I
$200.
I had the whole Wilford Brindley thing going on. Yeah,
oh,
that's what
okay.
I
Diabetes.
like. Look at me. I felt like I looked like Wilford Brindley. Hold on, let me.
I feel like Tom
Here we go.
Selleck.
Here we go.
Yes.
in
Blue Bloods.
Blue Bloods.
Here we go.
Diabetes.
All right, mine came
All right,
off.
in the heights. In the heights. We're
In
having
the
too
Heights.
much fun.
2.5 out of 4 stars. I really think that's all we need to say about it. Great Latin community film.
I think
Go
people
watch
might want to. I think people might want to know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
though we're so starkly different
True.
compared to other
Because
critics.
I didn't think it was
Yeah.
that great.
Because
I'm lying.
it felt kind of generic. I mean, I appreciated that they were trying to put on display the Latin community from from the Heights, Washington Heights in Upper Manhattan.
Washington.
Yes. But I just felt like that was really all it had go. I get it. It was kind of like inspired by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Huede. I forget the person's full name, but I know their last name's Huedes, who helped write the play and
Took
the movie.
you like 5 times to say it in the review.
Yeah, it was hard. It was like Kiera Algria. So I don't want to butcher it anymore, so
Right.
I just know Huedes is the last name. So I know it was based on their childhood, and I can appreciate that. But I didn't feel like it stood out enough as anything other than being like that Latin component, and I just felt like even the some of the songs and choreography was just bad. I felt like a lot of the musical numbers felt
Yeah.
like music videos, and
No, I was second that. I thought there was one particular scene that at the pool, the 96,000 song. I particularly hated the CGI that they used. I felt like it was maybe just a bad job overall that they kind of snuck it in there and tried to do it real quick. And it just, I don't think it paid off. And I think that it's sad because I thought the movie as a whole had mostly decent production value. It's
fun
hard to
listening-
take me seriously.
It's fun
with
listening
it.
to you try. Well,
Yeah.
you don't sound quite right either because you're trying to talk
I'm
through
trying to
it.
talk through it.
So
and
it's
I
kind of
can't.
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
And for those listening in podcast land, I'm talking through my mustache. But
Mustache.
My mustache.
but no, I thought the production value as a whole was good.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But the
The-
shortcuts that they took, for one, I didn't think the choreography was anything big. I thought they focused more on spectacle. I said it right before I think we got into the show. The best part of the movie for me that was a musical moment was the scene where they're dancing on the side of
Yes.
of the apartment buildings, and they're out on the balcony and they go up.
Yes.
I was like, this is a cinematic moment.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
That was great.
I
But
thought-
other than that, I thought it fell short.
I thought the songs were well written. I do think Lin-Manuel Miranda did a good job. And granted, I mean, it's not his first rodeo. He did Hamilton. He wrote the songs for Moana. He definitely knows how to write music, and I did think that aspect was really well done. But outside of that, I just felt like, the musical numbers themselves just weren't that impressive compared to so many of the other musicals we've seen in the last few years.
right.
And then even the story, like, I know, I mean, it was kind of a personal story, but I still felt it was just generic. There wasn't really enough depth because the characters all just, I didn't feel emotionally connected to any of them.
Yep.
So therefore, I couldn't really get behind a lot of their problems because it was kind of like they didn't have a lot of personality outside of like the stereotypical type of personality that
Right.
each one was supposed to convey. And I mean, so that kind of it bothered me a little bit because I'm like, I want more. Like, I want to feel like the relationship between Usnavi and Vanessa. That was his love interest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kept saying, oh yeah, they like each other, but I'm like, I don't really feel like you all
Yes.
care for each other.
I felt like there may have been a more of an emotional connection if they would have focused only or mainly on their relationship.
Yes.
But the fact that they do kind of split it between the and I don't remember any of their freaking names.
Benny and
yeah.
is it Nina?
Nina, yeah.
I forget.
I think
But
so.
Sounds
right.
I kind of agree. I felt like there were too many. Like, even like I understood like the subplot with the beauty salon, but even then, like I thought there were too many of the you only needed like Vanessa and then maybe one other woman. I was like, there was too many.
Quick update, real quick. Face ID does not work with the mustache.
Oh,
But
it's so crazy.
it'll
work
work
with sunglasses on.
I know.
But it'll also work if you have a mask on.
Yeah, I don't
So-
understand. I don't.
Yeah,
that's
Apple did
true.
an update that if you're wearing a mask, like it'll still recognize
Yeah.
you.
Well,
yeah.
no.
You have to have your
have
watch.
to have your watch.
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Your
I
watch
forgot.
biometrics and unlock.
Your watch bypasses.
Got it.
it.
Anyways,
I
I'm
forgot.
sorry. Continue.
Well, I just thought there were too many side characters that added nothing to the story. Like I think having Abuela in there was good. I didn't mind the story between like Nina and her father. I thought that was good with him like selling the business, but then I felt like it had an unsatisfactory resolution at the end.
Yep.
It's like there was a good back and forth between them, but ultimately it was just kind of like everything he said that was trying to teach her really didn't matter.
Well,
So-
to actually, all right, I am taking it off. I'm sorry. I gotta.
You can't do the show.
Well, I want to drink my coffee too, and you're right, Sean. I can't drink my coffee while I'm got my mustache on. But no, to piggyback off of what you were saying too about just the idea of it being too thinly veiled as far as their subject matter and what their motivations were. Yeah, it's like this. It would have been fun. It's one of those moments where maybe I think the play and the Broadway musical doesn't transcend into it doesn't. It doesn't transport into film very well.
Stage plays and musicals are a lot longer than a film.
Well,
anyways.
and not only that, but even the emotional depth that they went to in a Broadway play, I could see that working because it is more about the spectacle and the amazing art form of what you're seeing live. Whereas in a film, it just doesn't hold a lot more because again, you're expecting to see a bigger spectacle on the screen. And for me, I think we're getting into a dangerous territory with this movie and many more that I think are going to come after it. Not just musicals, but in general. And that is that I think we're now allowing certain identities to speak for substance. And I think what we're going to end up encountering across the board are movies that come out and think, well, because they have a certain racial or a certain kind of subgroup or class that is represented as the majority in the film, that somehow that's going to speak volumes for the message and the ultimate emotions they want to convey.
It worries me for the future West Side Story.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have another film
that's
kind
such
of
a-
like this, and it's like if they go the same route to where it's all about just the cultural or the culture and the race.
I
that's
still
represented,
don't
that's
understand
gonna
why
be,
that needs to be
no,
remade.
it doesn't
but-
need to be remade. But again, all of the issues that I had with the film were actually kind of they kind of a lot different than what your issues were. Most of them were actually technical issues. I had a huge problem with the lip sync. I probably wasted 20 minutes of the film pausing it because I kept trying to play with the settings on my TV and my Apple TV and try to get the lips to match up with the words. And it eventually, when they would just be talking, it would match up fine. But during the singing, their facial expressions and the words coming out of their mouth were not matching the vocals. And not only that, but their facial expressions didn't match the tone of voice they were using in the songs. There would be moments where they would be yelling and hitting these high notes, but their faces were monotone and like we were talking to each other here instead of out in the middle of the street like yelling. And it just didn't fit. So it was very poorly done in that regard. The other issue that I had with the film, and it's not a huge issue, but when I think of a musical, I think of a film that I can watch with my family. And this was definitely not a film that I felt like I could watch with my family.
Well, neither is Rent.
Or
Sweeney Todd.
Musicals can be adult. Too.
I understand they can, but again, La La Land is a movie that I would love to be able to watch that as a family.
I see
but
what you
because they
mean.
drop an F-bomb in the movie, I'm not going to let my kids watch it. There's a lot of, and I get it. It's a movie that's highly praised, and it's probably catered more to younger people in their teenage years into I really feel like I want a good musical that I can sit down and watch with the kids, and The Greatest Showman is the most recent musical like that. I have not seen Hamilton, so I can't speak for that one. I have seen Rent. And,
Well, there are
and
two.
even
There are two F-bombs in
in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Rent's terrible.
Rock of Ages was one that we could watch as a family that wasn't that terrible of a musical, but Little Shop of Horrors even we could watch that, and
that was fairly.
It has
I mean, there's some
scary,
scary, kind of
scary
scary
moments,
but yeah,
that was one thing I didn't appreciate. But as an adult, I thought it was funny, dude. When she brings the bottle of champagne,
yeah,
and he's singing and he goes, "I don't know how to get this gold off." Like I died. Like I thought that was hilarious that they did that. But again, it's a movie that I don't feel like I want my kids to see, even though the songs are a little bit catchy and they would probably enjoy.
There are some we have been talking about all the negatives. I mean, and I gave it 2.5, but there are good. Like I didn't think it was a terrible movie. Like,
well, before we move on to the positives, I wanted to piggyback off some more negatives. From Sean, just because it kind of reminded me. You brought up La La Land and The Greatest Showman, and funny enough, even though I think I like La La Land better than The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman was the one I particularly compared it to the most, and most of that was because of the set pieces. I just felt like take a movie like that where when you actually see the musical start or the musical scene begin, there's always a purpose or a reason for that scene not only existing within the story
but
and
later
the framework,
later
on in the film, and also even in that moment, like they take literal moments and elements in that scene and play and make it they play to the actual song that they're doing and also to the movements that they're creating. And I thought this movie tried to do that to a degree. The pool scene was okay for that extent. But yeah, it's like most of the time it was always we're just going to resort to big groups dancing
in the street.
And like you said, it just felt more like a music video than something choreographed.
I was as I watched, because of the purpose of a musical, stage or film, either one, is you're telling the narrative through the songs. So you have to be able to follow along with the characters and what they're singing to understand the story.
I'll come back at you with that one, and I'll say one of the things that to me makes La La Land and The Greatest Showman a much better film is the fact that it doesn't have so much music.
Yes,
I disagree.
There's 8 to 10 songs in both of
I
those.
agree
But you still, the narrative of The Greatest Showman is told through those 8 to 10 songs. You don't have to have a song every.
No, you don't. But the in between the songs is even good. With La La Land, if you took the music out of that movie and just filled it in with more of them together,
it'd be a
you
fine
could make
movie.
a great film.
And that's okay.
This movie had way too much music.
I agree.
And there's huge differences with both because.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I haven't fully gotten to my point.
Go ahead.
I was just in that a lot of the music in the song didn't do it. There was too much music because some of it didn't add a narrative. Musicals do have dialogue narrative as well. I didn't mean that like there is no narrative told outside of the songs.
Yeah, I understand that.
But the songs should still help the narrative move along, which I feel La La Land and The Greatest Showman
do better.
But you're right. You could take the songs out and they would still tell a narrative. I felt with this movie, it's like you could take all the songs out and
you have nothing.
You don't. You have nothing. But at the same time, the songs don't really add enough either. Because, like you said, with the music video aspect and the bad CGI, I was too distracted by what all these people were doing behind the main character to focus on what he was doing.
And I hate to say it, but this is probably one musical where I've seen, and I hate to say, and I know a lot of people would probably disagree with me, I didn't walk away with any of the songs being truly memorable, and there was none that stuck with me. But another thing too that and this is usually just a pet peeve with mine in general with musicals, and some people again will agree to disagree. But another thing that I can't stand from musicals a lot of times is when they incorporate too much of the dialogue into the tune or into carrying on the conversation, and it doesn't really flow well. It just looks like all you did was attach that sentence and
it's
say,
like, I am walking down the street today. And I'm just like, I
hate that. And I hate there were a lot more of those moments, I felt like, in this than any other musical I've seen. And I couldn't, it annoyed me and irked me.
I know we keep mentioning the same two movies, but going back to The Greatest Showman, they nailed it perfectly. Because I know what you're talking about, the back and forth, and it's kind of like they're just talking, but they're doing it to the song. And that's one of my favorite musical numbers is the bar scene. I love the bar scene. The back and forth between Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. Thank you. That was perfect. And they were both singing, but they were still having a conversation while singing, and it wasn't like this talking type thing. And I loved it. I mean, I love the whole bar scene in that movie.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess we could talk about some of the positives. I got a little excited there.
I was watching the hair
The hair?
I've had a really good day today. Okay.
Oh, he had a really good day.
Them got coffee in me now.
You had a cigar a little bit earlier.
No, I didn't have no cigar.
Working from home.
Oh, you
now.
smoked a pipe,
He smoked his pipe.
a crack pipe. That's why I'm all jittery.
Oh man.
No, positive. That was my positive for today. It was the crack pipe.
That's why you had to clear out your nose. It was all.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't feel any pain.
That's right.
I
I missed that.
was couldn't get that out.
Brian.
I mean, the humor of the movie, I thought, like just like the champagne, like, there actually were some really good humorous parts that I thought were funny. I do think it conveyed the culture well. Like I don't like. Granted, you would hope so with two Latino people producing and creating the movie. But I mean, I do think like the feel felt authentic. Like I didn't think that it's like, oh, this is just some stage setup. Like I mean, I felt like they were in an upper Manhattan neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I felt it was authentic. The characterizations, like I wanted more emotion with them, but I did think they were likable characters. There was never a point where I was like, well, I don't care if he succeeds or not, because I mean, he was like the lead, Usnavi, was likable.
Yeah.
They did have a few it was not enough, but they did have the few moments like how he got his name that I thought like, okay, that was well done. That was a good attempt at something emotional. So I mean, I thought there was enough there to for me to understand how the stage musical's popular. I just didn't feel like it was conveyed as well on screen as it probably is on stage.
Agreed. Definitely one for me that I think should have stayed on Broadway. Alrighty, guys. I think
Broadway.
Alrighty, guys. I think we are ready to move on to our headlines for this week. Let's roll that big, beautiful open. I love it every time.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what?
Are you not entertained?
That's it.
That's all you get from me.
Was that it?
That's it, man.
That's all we get from you? He's got it, man. He's got the scat bug tonight. He is ready.
You'd have had that fake mustache on when you did that.
That would have been
price.
It's already folded up now.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
it's
you
all
got to do it
folded
in the Walter Brimley.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Alrighty,
May
guys.
he rest in peace.
Walter Brimley. Wilford Brimley.
Wilford,
Whoops.
yeah.
I said
Yeah.
Walter. Whoops. Shame
What do we
the
got in
dead.
headlines?
Alrighty, we have actually got some terrific headlines. I don't know how many we're going to get to.
There was a
Because,
lot going on this week.
There was, and a little bit. That's why I mentioned Cinema Week at the top. That was going to be one of them. But hey, get out there and enjoy that.
I mean, we said all we needed to say about Cinema Week.
We did. Another one to talk about. Oh, the biggest freaking news in a long time.
Is this Spielberg?
I think so.
Whoa!
This is Spielberg.
It was the only thing I could think of that was that big.
Spielberg. Oh, Spielberg. Oh no, I think the camera went off too. Our slider cam went off. I gotta fix
What
it.
happened?
I gotta fix it. It went off because I didn't plug in the battery.
Oh no!
Technical difficulties.
Oh no! I had to say though, looking at the headlines, and there's lots of things that I know certain people would consider as big news. But for us here at Red Moon, I felt like Spielberg was the biggest because we never miss an opportunity to make one of the Hollywood elite eat their own words.
That's
Well, you know,
it's
it's
one
just-
Jew that we don't really care about a lot anymore.
Especially one of the main elite.
Hey,
Hey, look,
hey,
our
don't get
camera's back.
anti-Semitic.
I'm
Our
not.
slider's back.
I'm anti-Spielberg.
Are you really though?
Since Saving Private Ryan.
I'm not anti.
Everything after that. Now he has. What has he done?
Lincoln was
Yeah.
good. I liked Lincoln.
I liked Lincoln, but
War
it's
Horse
it's
was
Ready Player One
fantastic.
was. I thought fell short.
I like Ready
I
Player
agree.
One.
It was okay.
I thought
It
we all
is.
agreed.
It is. It's good.
No,
but
it's not. It's not iconic Spielberg,
no,
but
it's not
it's never
iconic.
going to be iconic. He's not
It's
got
not
that in
freaking
him
E.T.
anymore.
You know.
No,
Oh man,
no,
Come
it's
on.
not.
I love E.T.
I'll give him credit
So
this.
much.
I'll give him credit for this. He did stop there from being a reboot of Jaws.
Yeah, he did. I
He
saw
was gonna
that.
try. They were going to try to reboot
They
Jaws.
pitched it, and he said no.
Yep, and I'm glad because again, just like if they tried to do
But-
E.T. or Close
but here's the
Encounters,
thing.
like nope.
He won't let them remake Jaws, yet he himself is remaking West Side Story.
I know.
Does
know.
he think that Jaws is better than? And in some ways, yes, it is. But I'm just saying.
Oh, I know. I know. I agree. It's
I would
kinda-
prefer. I like Jaws more than West Side
Right.
Story, but still,
I feel like great white sharks are underrepresented, and
You need
I
those
think
great
there needs
black
to be
sharks.
more. There needs to be more. Oh,
I think
I didn't even think about them
Yeah,
being great
yeah.
white sharks.
Why are they great whites? I'm just saying.
Carrot Carcarius.
I don't need another
We'll call 'em
Jaws, but I do need another Meg. Let's get that going.
The Meg
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Spielberg Netflix deal.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, what happened was two years ago,
Mhm.
pre-pandemic, and pretty much at the height of when theaters are. I mean, you're talking about Avengers Endgame was still coming out. We were at the pinnacle of what I think you could expect from a blockbuster
movie. I mean, Hollywood is
in theaters.
breaking in billions.
Billions.
Yeah.
Highest numbers we've seen in a long time in the theater. chain.
2019. Yep.
And Spielberg, of course, is drumming up support for the theaters and talking about how streaming is not going to put an end to the cinema, that it is just a great joy. I mean, pulling along the big names like Nolan who are fighting for film to still be relevant and fighting the good fight.
You can
of
only
keeping
get
the cinema
the pure
alive.
cinematic experience in a theater.
In a theater.
And I mean, I'm not going to debate against that, but I'm also not
But he
going to
was
snub.
strictly
Yeah.
Well, the reason he was strictly against streaming was because streaming was then coming out and fighting in terms of creating these short-term deals with theaters to have their release for an Oscar run, then to put it on Netflix, you watch it, and then you have an Oscar contender that is mainly available on Netflix
And
and
that's
not really have a
just
huge
terrible.
theatrical run. And of course,
How dare somebody want to watch something in the comfort of their own home?
Yeah.
lo and behold, a couple years later, in one huge pandemic that forced everybody inside and even theaters to reevaluate what they were going to do with these big production companies,
Raise your prices.
well, and cut
Oh, yeah.
theater and cut basically their theater chain line or their the amount of time that a movie is in
Yeah,
theaters.
yeah.
So here all these deals are being drummed up, and now we have Spielberg capitalizing on the idea. Him and Amblin Productions are going to make a deal where they will not just be producing films for Universal, but also Netflix now.
Man.
And every year.
Sell out.
Is it though?
Yeah,
Is it?
kind of.
Or is this good? Is this consumers?
Are they
Is this
gonna
what we
be?
want?
Oh, no, it's
but
good
do you
for
think they'll be
consumers.
Good movies though.
Well,
I
it's,
mean,
here's the thing: Spielberg produces the Transformer movies too. So
that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
it's like
just
like
'cause his name is on it doesn't mean it's good.
he's well, but I think about the last few films that I think they have produced that have been. I mean, Green Book won Best Picture.
I mean, yeah, he
Amblin
produces
produced that.
good stuff too, but he also
He
produces
also-
crap.
Jurassic
so,
World 3 Dominion is coming.
Exactly.
We know that's going to be an Oscar
Hey,
contender.
that one's off limits. And you know why? Because Pratt.
Pratt, Pratt.
But that's the thing. It's like, yes, I think it's good for consumers. I'm happy that we get more content on Netflix, but at the same time, Spielberg's still a sellout. He said streaming bad. Now all of a sudden, oh, streaming makes me money. We'll do some streaming.
Well, we saw Scorsese do that first. I mean, he yacked about the streaming, and then, then his 4-hour movie comes out.
And like Scorsese said, he said
Or was
he
it
didn't
3
want to
hours?
go. He didn't. It was 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah. He said he didn't want to go to streaming, but he found that streaming companies were now the only production companies willing to take risks. He couldn't make The Irishman anywhere else because no one wanted to pay
See,
for
and that's
a
where I
3.5 hour
I at
epic.
least give Scorsese the wherewithal in that regard because it's
At
like,
least admitting he's like, yeah, I know I
Well,
said it was bad,
yeah.
but
no, he's saying the films that I want to make, I can't get made with a production studio anymore. They don't want to take the risk.
so I'm
Yeah.
going to where I can.
And I want the only thing that I have to question with Spielberg is I really don't know what the motive is here.
well,
Because here's the thing, it's not only just about a success in terms of production, but yeah, what is the last big blockbuster? And it doesn't even have to be a blockbuster, but last truly Hallmark film that we've seen in Spielberg's catalog. Are we going to land one of those, or is this going to, because how many, and no offense to Spielberg, he can direct for however long he wants until I guess he's senile and can't figure out his
I mean,
butt
James
till he's
Cameron-
face.
Lucas.
say,
Yeah, exactly.
James Cameron's still making movies.
He's not George Lucas
He
yet.
mentioned senility.
He's almost there. And he's way younger.
And once he turns into Zack Snyder, then we know that Spielberg
I saw
is
the
spent.
first Avatar. I didn't feel it was that far off from the prequel trilogy.
We all know that's true. But no, I really do have to question with regard to Spielberg's, what he's got longevity, obviously. He can still make a good film. We've seen it recently. like we said, Ready Player One was a good film. It wasn't
Bridge of
bad.
Spies, that wasn't very good. I
It
didn't
was.
like that.
It
It was
boring.
okay.
It
yeah,
was boring.
I didn't
agree.
think it was bad, but it was not.
BFG was. I thought.
Oh God,
terrible. Even though
BFG
I think
was-
I gave it 3 stars or
Did you
something.
what?
Or somebody did.
Were
on
you
our-
high?
I don't know.
Somebody on our website gave it that.
BFG's not. Yeah,
I don't know.
it wasn't that great.
All I know is that I am wanting this to be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a huge win for Netflix. Because again, this is yet another huge A-list director that is partnering. I mean, you've already had not only Scorsese, David Fincher teamed up to make Mindhunter.
Yeah.
And even with it not being really producible, I don't know if that's on Netflix's end more so than it is on. I think it's kind of both. It's like David Fincher doesn't have the time, and Netflix kind of has a problem with it is a lot of money.
How much money? Yeah,
But
that's why Dark Crystal went out.
he's still bitter about
Adam
that.
Sandler's still making Netflix movies.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
makes them cheap.
I know.
They knew
again,
how much
they-
that
Again,
cost.
they
when
that's,
went in.
do
that's
have-
his, that's his portfolio, man. It's
Yeah.
just like
Well, remember when
I made 6
Spielberg
movies in 1
came
year.
out on the Apple TV Plus stage,
Yes.
and everybody was calling him then, like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait a
what
second
did
now,
he do
buddy.
for Apple?
Nothing yet.
He didn't-
Greyhound is the only thing
Is
that I
that
can
Spielberg?
think. That
He
was
produced it. He produced.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I think that went towards.
Mhm.
Or actually, I don't even know if that's produced by. I think that was just Tom Hanks produced and starred.
I don't know. Yeah.
I have to check that.
He directed
check me
it,
on
didn't
that
he?
one. I don't know.
I
I
thought
don't
Tom
think he
Hanks
did.
directed that.
No.
No?
I don't think, and I don't even know if I don't think. I don't
Actually,
think
if Tom
Spielberg
Hanks
had
had-
anything to do with that. Actually,
Yeah,
I take that back.
Okay.
We're
But I
we're
just
gonna
think it's
juggle it.
interesting that when he came out on the stage for Apple
Juggle
TV
it.
Plays,
Was that a Spielberg joke?
No,
Juggle
it's
it.
just, that's just we're just jugling it.
Yeah. It's the new search engine. Get that Jugal OS.
It's kosher searching.
Jugel.
Juju.
Jugel.
It was directed by Aaron Schneider.
What?
And
Brother of Zack
Zack
Snyder.
and it was produced by Gary Goatsman.
Yeah, so I was totally wrong. there.
goat.
Did not mean to do that.
The goat?
Gary the Goat.
But no,
Goatsman.
I really think it's funny that everybody was ribbing him for kind of even back then.
Yeah.
Which I think we're what 2 years removed from when that was first
I
announced.
just think that's a name that Apple threw out there.
Yes.
It's just like, how can we, in some small way, get Spielberg's name tied to Apple TV Plus?
Well, Spielberg,
And
J.J.
then there you
Abrams,
go.
they were trying, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the interesting aspect is when you see all of these bigger name, Hollywood stars going to, what streaming platform. It's like, yeah, Apple TV Plus may have deeper pockets where they're buying up the content after it's produced. Netflix is trying to get these deals in the bag before things are produced to say, hey, you come to our platform, we'll give you the money, we'll give you the freedom, you make what you want.
Yeah.
He's
And that's
producing,
really what I'm questioning.
It's called Amazing Stories. It was a sci-fi horror anthology series he made in the past. I don't know what it ever aired on, but he's reviving that for Apple TV
That's
Plus.
right. That's right.
So that's they did a trailer for it back in 2020, but I don't remember if it's ever.
See, I was going to say.
I like how you
wanna-
say back in 2020, like it was a really long time ago.
It was.
Well, I mean, it was a year ago.
I
so,
know.
I mean,
Well, and
I'm
was,
just trying
was
to figure
Apple
out.
TV Plus announced in 2019, I think?
I'm just saying, for them in January of 2020, they released a trailer for Amazing Stories, and I
And
haven't
still
heard
not
anything
out.
about it.
we
so I'm like,
had
yeah.
a pandemic, though.
We
So
had an-
everything was
we
on
had an
pause
amazing
for a
pandemic.
year. Yeah. But
Well, it says March 6, 2020 to present. I guess it's on there. We just never paid any attention.
I'm
Yeah,
looking. I'm
It's
looking
got 5
forward.
episodes.
Well,
Oh, are you
that
serious?
shows you how popular it is.
Wow, nobody's talked about that.
We all have
Um,
Apple TV Plus, and none of us
I
have
know,
seen
they
it.
were.
And
Before.
John Williams did the music for it. Of course he did.
Hmm.
Just him and Spielberg. Yeah, it's the last episode was April 3rd, 2020, and there's been, according to this, nothing since then. So good job, Apple TV Plus and Spielberg.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking
Amazing
forward
Stories?
to his partnership with Netflix. I'm looking forward to the fact
I'm
that
intrigued by it. I mean, I don't know that I'm looking forward to it because I don't yet know if we're going to get good Spielberg or bad Spielberg.
Right.
But that's the thing. I think it's up in the air whether it's not. I think either way, whether it's in theaters or whether it's on Netflix, you're going to get Spielberg. And I'd rather be able to choose from my own, comfort of my own home whether or not it's good to swipe and say nope.
I just think
don't
it's
wanna watch
funny
this.
that because we mentioned Scorsese, and of course Scorsese came out and said, "Yeah, I know I said it, but this is why." Spielberg's camp is still saying, "No, what he said is being misconstrued and misunderstood."
BS.
And it's like, no, he specifically stated his opinions on streaming. You can't backtrack it now.
Yep.
It's like at least Scorsese was man enough to be like, "Look, I did say that, but this is what I had to do."
Right.
So
You can go back and watch a Red Moon episode where we talked about it. For
Oh,
like
no
an
doubt.
hour.
Yeah.
We've definitely beat this dead horse. We've
Yeah.
talked about it before.
War horse.
Exactly.
Dead
And that
war
is
horse.
one that is worth not streaming.
Just imagine the scene like when the horse is tangled in like the barbed wire and they cease fire. Instead of cease fire, like both sides just come out and start beating it. It's like it's like
you take the head, I'll take the butt.
yeah, it's like the horse. There's a ceasefire, but it's not to save the horse. Instead, everybody's like free meat.
I'm just picturing.
I mean, it's a war. You get rations. It's like
it's a war.
There's a horse.
That's what it is. I'm just picturing like it's Spielberg's face on this horse, and Netflix a bunch of ends on the faces of the people coming out.
They're
to
just
save
beating
it.
this
And it's like
horse.
we're saving your career, Spielberg. We're digging you out of the mud. You don't have to just stimp in on theaters and Universal because they don't want your crap.
Do you think that's going to make Netflix's price go up again when they adopt big names like that? I mean, they got to
already
pay 'em.
are.
They got to pay them.
I mean, but they're also losing members, so it's like they got to find this balance of you can't keep raising the prices and keep people, but at the same time you have to offer content to keep people. So they do have to find the balance of how much do you charge versus the content you have.
They need to dump a lot of the crap content and only focus on the good content.
But
they
that's
need
the
to
thing.
quit like throwing money at
would-
everything.
every
Yeah.
single
Right,
thing,
but
yeah.
they would argue. I mean, again, well, this content for some reason serves this group.
I bet
and
there's
this-
stuff on Netflix that not a single person
I
has
agree.
ever watched.
Oh yeah.
But then again, that's why we were
And
talking
it's still
about.
there.
Look at how
2
many
weeks
things
ago.
get canceled after one season.
Exactly. We were
Yeah.
talking about how most people tune in for old and they stay for the new, and then their new crap gets canceled.
Yeah.
And it's like, what did I tune in for this for?
Yep.
And it pisses people off. And I think at least with movies, you don't have the huge budget of having to go forth and put all this effort into making a series.
Yeah.
So therefore, you can at least blow the wad on a movie like The Irishman. Blow that wad, man! I'm telling you.
Share the load. I bought that in 4K.
Nice.
Beautiful.
From Prime Deals.
There you
Good.
go, $59.99.
Just the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I didn't go for the Hobbit.
No, I was thinking
Hey,
about
the
it.
Hobbit's nice looking too, though.
I know
they're not
it
as
is.
they're
I
not
got-
as good though.
I got the 4K download. I'm just
Yeah.
going to stick with that. I'd rather put the money into the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I agree.
The good movies.
I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a
Yeah.
yeah.
They are definitely the better.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope everybody else out there is. I think it's funny that Spielberg's eating crow. He's got to make up for it now and actually give us a good movie to watch.
It's going to be Spielflix.
And predict what year do you think is going to be we see the first Spielberg film launch on Netflix?
2022.
You think next year?
I bet he's already got something
Nope.
that he's
I
going to
was gonna say 2023.
I'm gonna say 2024.
Whoa.
I'm going way out there.
Everybody will be worried about Avatar by then.
Well, because the other thing that this is kind of
Well, technically,
That's if it
2022
doesn't get
is when
delayed.
Avatar 2 is supposed to come out next December. We'll see.
Wow.
all I know is I think what's going to be the problem now is this is going to create a dogfight between Universal and Netflix trying to bicker and pick which IP they want. And that'll be
Well, I mean,
that'll be kind of the next
I guess
big
it's
thing.
up to Spielberg because it's
Yeah.
not like Universal doesn't they don't
No,
have
it's not
direct
up to
rights.
Spielberg. I mean, if Spielberg's made a deal, then and Universal comes in and is like, I mean, it can be up to Amblin
It depends on what
Productions.
the deal is. If like Universal's only distributing and Netflix is only distributing, then Spielberg's
But say if there's like, hey, we want 3 films out of you, and he's like, okay, and then they come up with 3 films, and they're like, we don't want those, and Netflix is like, we don't want those either, we want these, and Universal's like, we want those. And I think
well,
it's, I
I don't
it's gonna
think
be
it really
like a
comes up
bidding
to
war.
like these ideas. It's like here's what I'm producing for you. Like I mean, it just kind of depends on what the terms of the deal. Because I mean,
True, but
because
that's
it
the
is
thing.
tricky.
I don't know his
That's how they got Brendan Fraser. That's how.
Otherwise,
Bless-
why would he even be producing
bless
for
his
Universal?
Because Universal's crooked that way. He did 3 movies for Universal, thinking his contract. He did Mummy 1, 2,
yep.
and then Journey to the Center of the Earth because he had a contract to make 3 films with them, and he thought Journey to the Center of the Earth would be that 3rd film. They said no. We meant 3
3
Mummy
Mummy
films,
films.
so he had to
Yeah.
come back and make the terrible 3rd Mummy movie.
The Scorpion
and
King,
he's
is that it?
Yeah,
And they got
no,
Rachel
that
Weisz
was,
ain't in that one.
no,
I
They
thought
got a
it
new
was
Tomb of
woman.
the Dragon or Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, isn't that? Or
Yeah,
something,
Tomb of the Dragon
yeah.
Emperor.
Oh, God.
It was the
oh,
third one.
And he's got a different
Scorpion King's a
wife.
spin-off.
Yeah,
That was
that's
yeah,
right.
that was
Yeah.
the Rock.
That was
That was
right.
terrible.
It was awful.
And then you seen what happened. He came back, made that 3rd Mummy film, and his career was dead. All because Universal screwed him.
He needs
Yep.
a blast from the past.
Actually,
Just
he's
saying.
got a movie coming
That's
up.
a movie with Brendan
He
Fraser.
needs
Nobody's
to,
heard
He
of.
needs a good writer like
He's
Inkheart.
he's been in Doom Patrol and has gotten a lot of praise for that. It's a DC series, so I haven't seen it. Actually, it's mostly vocal work because he plays like this android type thing, but he does have some scenes where he's himself. But he has a new movie coming out called The Well, where it's a story about the 600-pound man, and he was already heavy set, but he's actually put on more weight. And I'm like, that's not healthy, man.
Dude,
Like,
he looks not. He's going to look like Val Kilmer. And it's like, man, what happened to Batman?
He was just at a premiere, and he looks really rough.
Cancer.
I mean, I can't knock him.
Val Kilmer's got cancer.
Yeah.
He's
playing
got an excuse.
But I'm just saying, Brendan Fraser's playing a 600-pound
Dude.
person. I'm just like, man,
If
I
they
would
made...
let them do the whole Chris Hemsworth Thor thing too. Don't gain all that weight.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I don't
true.
know.
Just put on a fat suit.
Yeah,
Put on a
yeah,
fat suit.
yeah.
If they had a wax thing that you could put on your stomach
Yeah.
and you could just pull it off and the fat would come, that would be amazing.
Oh, I'd do it.
I would do it. I think everybody would do it. Beach body all day.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just anytime I just overeat,
Are
just put that
we
wax
out of
suit on. And
Are we out of the headlines now?
That
We're done.
sounds like
Okay.
it.
I think we're done. We're done. We're
Could you
ready to
imagine,
move
like,
on.
doing
to our-
that with your. I mean, not that there's anything in there,
Whoa.
but I was just like your belly button.
Oh,
Like, you just, boop.
I want to do it now. I want to do it with my belly button.
There's no hair in there. Where are you pulling out, Lint?
I don't know.
It's
What
like
if,
we're
like-
getting that deep lint.
Deep lint. Oh my gosh, he called it the deep lint.
lint.
You just gotta. You got to think of all of the orifices you can pull wax out of now.
Dude, what if you like pull it out and it's like, oh my gosh, there was a crystal in there.
Oh my god. It's that quarter I lost.
The
last
dark
year.
crystal.
The dark crystal's back.
Ugh.
It was in my belly button.
So bitter.
He is. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our relationship segment. Let's roll
Please.
that open.
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above.
And a thing called love. Aww.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Every time. Don't you just love yelling it?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
That was not.
There's
the
nothing
right
that goes with love, so I just always choose the one that's the opposite, and that's anger.
Killing me, Smalls.
That's not love.
No, I'm saying it now. 'Cause
Killing
that's,
me, Smalls.
That's what you're doing to me. Killing me.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Well, we were just talking about Jaws. That at least made a little bit more sense.
Mm.
But you know what makes even more sense? Our relationship topic
Mm.
for the relationship segment.
And what is it?
This is going to be weird, but a good one.
Weird.
It kind of made me think because I had to make a decision today, and it affected me. It didn't infect me; it affected me. And so I thought about it, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a good topic." Indecision with someone that you care about. A time that you had to make a choice about somebody that you care about, but you had an indecisive moment because of the fact that it was like you were kind of dancing around what
I
choice
get it.
to make.
I mean, like, pulling the plug on Great Aunt Gertrude was a hard decision to make, but no. I don't have a Great Aunt
Gertrude.
Gertrude.
She's in better place.
But, it was like, it's like I was indecisive at first, but then I thought, she's got a lot of money. If I pull it now, no. It's terrible.
Stock
Yeah.
market's only getting worse,
It's like, she didn't leave me anything.
Then I thought, damn right, I pulled that plug.
Dang.
Gosh. What about you guys? Have you all ever had a moment
Of
Was-
indecisiveness every day.
with, wow,
Not
really?
with people I love, just in general. I'm a very indecisive person.
Okay. I mean, like,
No, I mean, I say
trying to
that.
think-
I'm not entirely. I mean, I'm not going to act like I can't make decisions. But my thing, it's not that I can't make decisions, but I know certain people that if, like, I can make a decision, like, what do you want to eat? How about O'Charlie's? No, I don't want that. Okay, Texas. No, I don't want that. McDonald's. No. It's like, well, then you decide. I don't want to
Yeah.
decide.
yeah.
I'm
Then
going
it's
to punch you in the face then.
Yeah. that's being married, Keith.
Yeah, well, I have that with other people that I'm not married to.
I know, but
And it's okay as long as you don't punch them. You can want to punch them. You just don't.
I just hate when they're like, well, don't be indecisive, make decisions. I was like, I'm trying to, but everything
Well,
I
and
decide
there's-
on, you say no.
But
right?
there's a difference between
Yep.
indecisiveness and I think stubbornness. I mean, there is a difference between saying, well, I'm
no,
not,
no.
or not
They're
even, not
being
even
stubborn,
well,
but
I
they're
was gonna
saying
say,
I'm being indecisive. I'm
not
like,
not even being stubborn. I would even say like, yeah, just not being picky. About being there's a difference between being indecisive and indifferent.
yes.
I mean, when you're indifferent about
I'm
certain
mostly
things,
indifferent.
and and to me, it's when your indifference becomes something that is a problem because it is an important topic or an important discussion, and you don't want to make I mean, there's like times at work or if somebody interjects an opinion and I'm like, I don't agree with that opinion, but I know if I state it here, I may not be right in the right comfort zone to admit what I'm really thinking, or I might not be able to come up with the right thing to say because it may offend somebody, and that could be my butt and my job, and this is my livelihood, so I think twice.
Yep.
But for me in particular, just happened today. I don't think they'll ever watch this, but shout out to them. But no, the Walters are people that I have house set for two sisters from my church for a long time. It's actually, I calculated it up before the show, and I realized like I was living with my brother and sister-in-law when I first house set for them, which was more than 6 years ago. So it's been like a really long time that I've taken on this responsibility.
Nearly a decade.
Oh, don't say that. That just makes me feel. I mean, hey,
You're closer to it being a decade than not. Over 6 years.
That's true. That is true. And when you start thinking of it that way, it's pretty sad. But they did pay very well. So I will say, it was. And I love the dogs. I love the. We don't need to go there. I think I have brought that up on the show.
He did mention he didn't kill it. He just found it dead.
And your friend busted the garage door in.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, that happened too.
Yeah, Keith, I remember that, don't you?
It's like the first month I had my truck.
Yeah.
I didn't give a damn about your truck.
I
ain't gonna lie.
I wasn't worried about my truck. I just was.
It was a small little dent, like literally about that big.
But still, it was one of those things where I was very nervous about, and then I did hit because I was overthinking, I think, too much. So.
Yeah. But the thing is I have house set for them for a long time. And ultimately what happened is, after a year of COVID, I was lonely myself, and I got a pup. So I got a new dog. Everybody's seen Edie walking around here in the studio, and we've showed her on a show before. But it's like that mixed in with the responsibilities of the show and responsibilities of just having to go to work every day. I'm already stretched very thin. And wanting to expand Red Moon and work on other things, it was one of those moments where I had to reflect. They just texted me yesterday, and I had already kind of given them the inclination that I was still interested and that I should be able to work something out. And it just hit me after they texted me, and they asked me about some certain dates. And I was just sitting there frozen, and I was like, crap. I was like, I got to work around like having to either find somewhere for Edie to stay. Even if I took her over there and she got along with the dogs, I couldn't keep her there while I was at work. And I can't drive her back and forth. It just became a convoluted mess of trying to work things out and getting a balance. And I waited until today. It took me a whole another 24 hours to finally just bite the bullet and be like, I didn't want to leave them hanging. I didn't want to leave them stranded. They had been good and faithful, to me as far as compensating me and letting me, take care of their house, and especially after their cat died. But it was one of those instances where for me, I just really felt like, crap, I don't want to leave them high and dry, but I can't do this anymore. I got to move on. And so I bit the bullet. I got out my notes app, and I started writing the text, and I was thinking about it, and I was trying to make sure, I put thought into it and let them know that it's like, I hate to do this, but I have to. And thankfully, I sent it, and of course, for the first 10 minutes, I'm not getting a response. I'm like, man, they're pissed. They are mad. I just ruined their plans. They're not going to be able to take a vacation now, and they're not going to be able to find anybody, and crap, they're going to cancel their plans, and I just ruined their and no, they sent back a reply, and they were like, we're sorry to lose you. We don't want to, but yes, if you could just help us find somebody else, that'd be great. Yeah. And it just was this huge relief off of my shoulders, but it made me realize
you were recruited by someone else already. Yeah. They did have someone that house sat before you, so it's kind of funny. You'll just pass the torch on to the next person.
And that was the thing, is I was trying to think of other people that I could, and it was like, again, I have no problem asking, and oftentimes
your church, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, and so there's probably young people at the church that are looking for extra money that need to learn some responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, and I think they are too.
Yeah.
And they're hoping as well. But it was one of those
you can always pay some homeless person on the street to do it.
True.
Well, and I could tell them I vouch for them, and I know them real well. We got a lot of bums in the news station, so we can just throw one of them in there.
Yep.
But I will say the indecision, it ate at me. And there are times where it's like when you've got to make that tough decision. I don't know. I felt a sense of relief, but it's kind of like you always do when you make a choice, and it hurts. But I even remember when I just hit the send button, and I was like, "Oh, it's done. You know, regardless of what my response is made.
Yeah.
Now it's the ball's in their court. And it always feels 10 times better once you make that decision. You know, once you've made a choice, regardless of what it is, when you no longer are just teetering on, you know, that imbalance, but you actually finally are like, nope, I'm going to make this decision.
Yeah.
I would say, and I can't think of any specific like that, but I would say a lot of my indecisive moments are like that, where it's like having to make a decision like with someone that I care about that I'm like, oh man, like, how do I turn them down? So then you kind of sit on it. But for me, outside of that scenario of like sitting on something because, you know, you're worried about like how the other person's going to take it, a lot of mine also has to do with my introvertedness. Like once I get settled in at home and then I get a text from somebody that's like, hey, you want to do this? So then I'm sitting there like, kind of, but no at the same time. So it's kind of like, it's like if I go, I know I'll have fun. But now I'm sitting here like already like sunk into my couch. So I kind of don't want to make the effort to go. So it's kind of, so it's one of those things that's like, I know I'm going to enjoy it if I do go. I just have to force myself to do it. Otherwise I'm going to be like, I'm just kind of chilling here now.
Well, but, okay, but in that instance, that I would say,
how do I make the decision? It kind of depends. Like,
well, and is that's a decision, and like, you know, it's not really a huge tough decision in those moments because at least you know, like, they're not gonna stop being your friend.
It kind of is for me because like I said, I'm introverted, so it's one of those things where it's like if I've done like a lot of things with different people throughout the week, and then it's like the first time I get for myself, I'm really like,
you gotta charge your batteries.
It's like I really kind of don't want to go out, but at the same time, like if it's somebody I haven't seen in a while,
you want your me time.
So it's one of those things that, and also like sometimes, like, and it's not like an intentional thing, but like, you know, you turn someone down enough times, and then they quit asking. They kind of quit asking, and it's not because they don't care. It's just kind of, you kind of fall off their radar. So it's like I don't want to, but at the same time, like we haven't hung out forever, so I kind of don't want to say no.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Sean, what about you?
I was actually listening to yours. I was actually thinking about a really hard decision that I had to make, but it was kind of a different scenario. I'm indecisive about asking for help. So, several years ago, when me and Amelia had first moved to Bardstown, there was a situation where I lost a job, and we were in a position with like our debt that it was going to be really, really it was going to be really rough for a little while, and I do not like to ask people for help in any financial way.
I was going to say financially, especially.
Yeah,
I'm really uncomfortable with that.
So when like I got home from getting fired, and I had to, number one, decide how to talk to my wife about it, how to call and what to say, and, you know, should I call? Should I wait till she gets home? Like, what, you know?
Yeah.
And so I dealt with that, and it wasn't bad. And when you're married and have a relationship like me and my wife do, then you can kind of fret it, but then it's not going to be that bad because we understand each other and we have each other's back. And it was, well, you know,
you're a team.
You need to find another job, simple as that. But the debt issue was a big burden, and so it was very hard decision for me to make to call and ask somebody for help. But I ended up calling my aunt and uncle simply because they didn't have children, and they everything they own is paid for. So I didn't feel like even asking for help, I was putting someone else in a predicament of their own, I guess you would say. So I didn't go to my dad or my mom, or, you know,
even though they would probably
they would have done.
Come to
they
them
would have.
first.
Yeah, they would have.
But you almost feel like that's a last resort just because of respect, you know.
Yeah.
Or,
but just how the decision played out, it was very difficult. It took me a couple of hours of thinking about it and determining what I was going to say, and eventually I just prayed about it, and I did. And she's, you know, my aunt and uncle said, "You come over, we'll talk about it." So I drove to Louisville from Bardstown and went to Margie and Dave's house and sat down with them and explained the situation. And what was going on, and it's kind of a weird thing, and not to get all like religious and everything, but it's one of those things where it was definitely handled by God, because I never told them an amount of money. I never said this is how much like we need help with. I didn't never ever disclose that. Just like anything you can do to help me, we will pay it back. Just I need it right now until I get another job. And my aunt literally she got up and went back in the back room, and she came out with a check and had it folded up and handed it to me, and she said, "I hope this helps. Me and Dave can do this for you, and don't worry about paying it back. It's just don't worry about it." Of course, we wanted to, but I left and got home before I unfolded the check.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to. I felt bad opening the check and even looking at it.
Yeah.
But when I got home, as crazy as it sounds, it was $4 off the amount that we were in debt.
Wow.
And it was a lot.
Yeah.
But it was literally it was $4, maybe $6 off.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was more.
And then
It was over.
So
wow.
I was just like, they left you $6 short. No.
Yeah.
But
That's how God works, though.
Yeah.
When you ask for help, He doesn't just meet the need; He exceeds.
Yeah.
And it even though it was enough to get a Big Mac, it
Yeah.
was still. I never told her how much. She knew how much to write it for, and it was. I guess whatever her heart told her to write was exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
And it wiped the slate clean, so that we didn't have that burden while I was trying to find another job.
Yeah.
And it is also because of that freedom of being able to look a little bit longer and apply to some different places that ended up leading me to Bardstown Baptist Church to do youth ministry for 6 years. So it's kind of, if I would have been in a rush to try to get somewhere, that opportunity may have never, I wouldn't have paid attention to it, or
Right.
I never would have known it was there.
Right.
And so that's just how things kind of work out.
Yeah.
That was a decision that it was really, really tough, because I didn't want to damage the relationship
No, of course
with
not.
my aunt and uncle. From now
Well, I
on,
think
it's always I'm indebted to them.
I would say that goes
And-
along with, I think, that idea of again asking for help.
Yeah.
And that
And they never
indecisiveness
did. They never did when we tried to
pay it back.
they never would. No, wouldn't
They
take
wouldn't
it.
take it.
No.
Wow.
So.
And I mean, and again, it's in those moments you realize also how blessed you are just to have that support system.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it actually, it's kind of weird. Again, a God thing. I sat there and thought about how someone would have enough money just sitting on it to be able to help in that way
Yeah.
at that time. And I'm like, if they would have had children and they would have had the debt that comes with raising a kid, they say now from birth till 18, it costs the average household around $1 million. So, it's like you don't think about it because it's over 18 years. But
Yeah.
if they would have had that, if they would have moved and bought a bigger house and owed a house payment and things like that, they might not have been able to help me in that way. And it's almost like, I'm not saying that God didn't bless them with children so that they could help me one day, but at the same time,
Well, I think they saw
that-
you as one of their own.
that
They
opportunity,
wanted to help.
they
that
they could
they-
do that because of,
Yeah.
So I just think everything works out the way He's planned
Well,
it
again,
to work out.
it's. I was going to say God has a plan for even those who
And they've helped my cousins, in different ways too, that, again, they wouldn't have been able to do if they had a lot of those burdens of their own. They wouldn't have been able to.
kind of like Abuela in the Heights. A
A
little bit,
exactly.
just like that.
Exactly.
The community and the neighborhood were her children because she couldn't have children. of her own.
Washington.
Washington Heights.
Mm-hmm.
But the community helped take care of her too.
That's true.
They didn't just leave her in a poor, abandoned, rundown home
That's right.
like someone else's abuela.
Well, exactly. I'm glad you got that point. I was wanting to make that reference, and I'm glad you made that reference.
Couldn't help myself.
Sad
Wow.
that the community wanted to help, but somebody's family was too selfish to let them.
Yeah.
Sad when you don't have family to help you, but your friends are willing. Well, we won't get into that in the in the political sphere.
You know, I
But
couldn't
no,
help myself. I had
That
to
was
go.
good.
I think
like,
that
where's
was
he? What's this? What's he doing? I was like, oh.
He's got a point. He's making it.
Oh, I got it now.
But I do think that was absolutely. I think those were all great instances of indecision and how indecision can be. Again, sometimes it's a hurdle in which you obviously set for yourself, and a lot of times I think it. I think the other thing other than relief is it makes you stronger when you make a choice. When you finally do, again, it makes you a better person. When you're faced with a tough decision and a tough outcome, and you're willing to say, regardless of the outcome, I have to make this choice, because if I don't, then I'm going to be more disappointed with myself.
You can't move forward. And I mean, yes, there's kind of trivial things to be indecisive on, but still, like in general, you're not going to accomplish anything by not making a decision. Even if you make a decision that results in a way you don't want, you learn from that and move on.
Yes.
So it's I mean, that's part of life, and
and it's funny because it's like
wiser and getting experience.
I always think about when people, will either, I'll ask them something and they either can't or reject, whatever offer, or if they say, no, I can't help out, or whatever it is that I'm asking. And it's like, but I always think about it from the perspective of, it's okay. Like I think about it when I'm asking, like, it's okay if you say no, and I want that person to realize.
It's like, it's okay if you say no, just know I'll be homeless on the street and cold and starving.
Oh, I've met some of those people. Trust me.
We had one as a waitress at B-Dubs. So
we had one at where I formerly used to work, director.
Don't
but
name
anyway,
drop.
yeah, I won't name drop. But I think
there's one at everybody's place of employment.
There are, and there are those people who want you to think that they feel bad about it, but they don't. They're not indecisive about saying, I am a bum and I'll just ask. But it's funny because it's like, I do try to think about that when I think a lot of times when you over amplify your emotions and say, I'm really sorry, I want to do this, I want to, it's like a lot of times what you don't realize is that person's probably going to be more understanding than you're giving yourself, the doubt of. And it's just, make those decisions as hard as they may be, because every decision you make, and as hard as it is and tough as it is, it's going to make you a better person. It's going to enhance your character. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this Red Moon podcast. We want to thank all of our lovely listeners out there for watching and tuning in this week. We love putting on a show for you every single week. You help make this
me happy. I thought that's what you're going to do.
Make me
happy.
Oh, what was that?
Your dog.
Is she in there doing something I don't know about? She's always into something.
She's in the bathroom right now.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
She's like, what's in this toilet?
Gosh, I don't know what's going to happen.
She pooped in it. That'd be impressive. What if you go in there and she pooped in the toilet?
Yes,
she
and
made
flushed
it.
it.
That would be a good decision she made. I would be very, very happy and pleased.
She's back in there.
I've seen a cat do that. I've seen a cat use
Yeah,
a
you
toilet.
can train cats to use a toilet.
Yeah.
You put their litter box, like they have this thing that you put on there that's their litter box that teaches them to go there, and then you'd remove the litter box and then they just start going into the toilet.
Jinxie pooped in the toilet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jinxie cat.
Jinxie.
Meet the Parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say,
great movie.
You can milk them. You just
It's like,
a little
what about me?
little
I have nipples. Can you milk
Can you milk me, Greg?
You can milk anyone.
And then they made sequels, and it's like, why?
They ruined
you have good movies, and then just
Yep.
Alrighty, guys. If you all like this show, like, share, subscribe. Always, please like, share, subscribe. We appreciate all the help and all of the love that we can get.
love.
Alrighty, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms about our wackiness and what else you may want us to do besides wax our nose hairs,
Yeah.
email us, rmpodcast@redmoonproductions.com.
I think
Right there at the bottom of your
What are
screen.
we gonna wax next?
I got a couple ideas. We'll
our
talk about it.
bums.
Definitely my belly button.
No.
I'm definitely sticking it in my belly button.
Not that.
But you can email us and ask what you think we should do. Or you can just tell us. Tell us what you want us to do. That's right, rmpodcast@redmoonproductions.com. And also, right there at the bottom of your screen, all of our social platforms. Again, like, share, subscribe. Red Moon Book, Red Moon Tweet, Red Moon Pics, and just search for Red Moon Productions in Google to get our website, or Red Moon Productions on YouTube, and you'll find our page.
Jujule it.
Jujule it. That was very nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Red Moon Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, tune in next week on Tuesday live at 9 p.m. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
Sean Sebastian.
and
Snot Haggis Bag, Sandal Crow, Copper Fleet Crown, Xenodwarfs.
Xenodwarfs.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. For more reviews, previous podcast shows, and everything Red Moon, visit our website, redmoonproductions.com. You can also like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for Red Moon Productions, LLC. We'll see you at the movies.